Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to be making these adorable dancing pandas from the new Spellbinders release. So come along with me, let's check it out. One of the things I love about these dies is that they are so easy. Even though they have tiny pieces, you can see how all the pieces are actually connected together. So they cut out individual pieces, but you don't have to worry about fiddling and missing those tiny little dies. Now for little dies like these, I really love my Sizekick Sidekick. I also like my Gemini Go, which is also a small cutting machine, but I like having these small cutting machines versus the really big ones, especially when you're doing a little project like this, and especially because I'm going to be cutting out so many of them, and so having it it just makes things a lot easier. So I highly recommend it if you don't have one. For the background of this card, I'm going to be using my new favorite color combination. At least it's kind of new to me. I went to a class this summer with Jen Shirkus, and this was a combination that she used, and I really loved it. So it's picked raspberry, peacock feathers, and mustard seed, and those are the colors. And what I love about them is that you can blend these together in different ways, and they create the additional colors that you need. So you blend the mustard seed and the peacock together, you get green. You blend the peacock feathers and the picked raspberry together, you get purple. You blend the picked raspberry and the mustard seed together and you get orange. And so you're able to get like a rainbow of colors with just those three. So if you're ever, trying out things with distress oxides and you're like, these are not cheap, which ones should I get? I highly recommend these three. So I'm going ahead and spraying these. This is a stencil also from Spellbinders. I checked on their website. I don't see it there anymore, but there's certainly a lot of other companies that make similar stencils and just circles like that. And my thought for the circles is this dancing panda was kind of in a party mood, and these kind of reminded me of balloons. So that's what I was kind of going for there. Using the water, I didn't actually get quite the effect that I was looking for. So I went ahead and I decided to use some of the solar paste. This is the Simon Hurley solar paste, and it dries iridescent, but it lets the color that is below shine through. So it comes on white here, but you'll see when it dries, it becomes a very nice shimmery kind of iridescent color that really lets the other colors below shine through. So that is a good effect that I like. I forgot to mention that I got the Altenew stamp wheel for Christmas, which I'm really loving. I've actually only used it as the actual stamp wheel once, but I'm using it a lot for the stenciling effect that you can get by using it as a grip mat. So that is super awesome. I'm really loving it. And so yeah, I'm going to play around with it some more, and I'll show you guys some more things that I do with it later, but highly recommend. Now, when I think panda bears, I think bamboo. I didn't have any bamboo stamps or dies, so I decided to just go ahead and make my own. I thought this was easy enough. I just cut these strips of green from scrap paper, and then I just went ahead and kind of added the little indentations in between the different pieces of the bamboo. I just used kind of a silvery kind of pen to give that effect, and I think it turned out pretty well. So you can go ahead and try that if you like, but pandas always make me think of bamboo. I also went ahead and just cut some leaves that I had. These are just leaves. I don't even remember which set they were from, but everybody's got different leaves in their sets, so I don't think it matters too much whether it's officially bamboo leaves or not. So I just went ahead and added those in as well. For Christmas, I bought myself this Cricut Joy that was on sale. They're not too expensive anymore. I mean, they're still a little pricey, like around $100, but I think I paid less than that for mine. I think I paid like $75. And you can get good deals on them because they're now like the second generation. There's like the Cricut Express Joy or something like that, that does a few more functions. But I just really wanted it to be able to write my own sentiments. So, oftentimes you have dies or stamps or things like that, and you don't have the right sentiment for the occasion, and so I just really like to be able to write my own, and my handwriting is absolutely atrocious. So if your handwriting is like mine, but you'd still like to be able to write your own sentiments, this is a great alternative. So I wrote, "Have a pandatastic birthday." Get it? Kind of punny. Fantastic, pandatastic? No, I don't know. So I was able to do that, and so I'm going to get a lot of use out of that Cricut Joy. I think probably not as much as the functions that it can do, because I'm probably only going to use it for writing sentiments, but it's still a cool little tool to have in your arsenal. Now I'm going ahead and putting the card together. You can see there how kind of the colors came through in the back of that solar paste. Just putting those on there and kind of creating my background of a bamboo forest and with like a party theme. Mentioned, this is actually a dancing panda. The legs actually move freely and kind of wiggle about, and it's set up this way, so I don't do a great job of showing it here. I'll do a better job of showing it later. But you see those little feet there and how there's like a foam dot in the middle. There's a hole with the feet and then a foam dot. So you put the feet around that foam dot and then you put the body on top, and that allows the feet to move around kind of freely and kind of wiggle and jiggle. Originally going to have the sentiment on a sign that the panda was going to be holding, but I decided it looked a little too cluttered that way, so I went ahead and I just created a little panel with a green ribbon that goes through it. Just tape that ribbon down, and then I'm just going to put the sign on the ribbon there. And that allows the little panda to still be dancing around and still move around. So I just cut off the kind of stick that I was going to have the panda hold, and then went ahead and propped this up a little bit on some foam tape and just adhering that to the bottom. Adhere my panel to some foam to kind of prop it up there, then put it on a card base, and that is my card basically done. I added a few little gems, and you can see the little guy dancing around there, and I think that is just so cute. One of the things that I think is really great about this is that even though these are small pieces, it's really easy to put together, really clear cut, really straightforward. So don't be intimidated by that. So if you get a chance to do that, I highly recommend this little set. It's just absolutely adorable. For my next card, I'm actually going to have 3 dancing pandas, and I'm cutting out all the pieces at once and just kind of putting them together in this little tray that I got from the dollar store. That just helps me organize all my pieces together and not lose them, especially like in something like this where it's just such small little pieces. Now I'm using those same distress oxides as I did before, and I'm just going to do a little bit of ink smushing, ink blending like this. So just putting them down on my glass mat like this, and spraying some water, and then I'm just going to smush it around and get a nice effect with that. Now, I always like to add some shimmer and shine to my card, as you know, so I'm using some Altenew spray here. This is the Altenew Iridescent Spray, and it gives a really cool effect. It's not really visible when you have the card head on, but then when you kind of shift it in the light, you can see that iridescent kind of glimmer there, and I think that with the kind of chaotic, fun background that I have there, it adds a nice effect. So I got these little mini washi tapes from Michael's, I think it was, and I'm not usually a big washi tape user. I don't know why, it just hasn't been my thing, and sometimes I think the washi tape can kind of overwhelm the rest of the card unless you make it kind of the focal point. But these were so thin and so little that I think it just adds a nice little kind of background effect, a nice little embellishment to a card without overpowering it. I'm going to go ahead and put my pandas together, and you can see here there are a lot of really tiny pieces, but don't be intimidated. These all come together in one or 2 different little die cut pieces, and so when you're cutting them out, you just basically need to cut out like 1 set in black, 1 set in white, and you've got all the pieces cut out. But you just do need to be careful about not losing those pieces, so I highly recommend like a little tray or something that you can kind of put them in, and make sure that you don't lose them. So I just kind of lay them out here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and put them together. And here you can see a little bit more clearly how that dancing mechanism works. So this is where I really do recommend having the foam dots or the foam squares, just because it makes it easier to put it in the center of those little legs there that then allow it to dance. So you put a foam dot in the center, and then you prop up your top kind of head torso piece on some foam dots as well, because you want it to be at the same level. It needs to be at the same level that it is there. So you then go ahead and do that, and you'll see that the legs can then move freely. going ahead and putting the final touches together, putting the card together. I picked some sentiments that I had in my stash. I keep like just a little box full of sentiments that I've cut out over the years, over time, and that way whenever I need a sentiment I can just go to it. So it says, "From all of us, congratulations," and those little hearts are just sequins that I had in my stash as well. There is our card all done. I really enjoyed these. These are such fun little critters. The white that you see there is highlights with a gel pen, so that isn't a die cut, just FYI. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share, and I will catch you next time for some more crafty fun. Thanks!